Good evening. It is dusk. The sun is about to set, so I'm sorry about the light levels, but we have had a beautiful day today. The temperature must have been in the mid-20s, probably tipping 30s today. 2023 in first part of June, absolutely beautiful. I thought I would just have a quick comment on licenses, truck licenses, whether you need one or not. So you probably know for the DAF, you will know for the DAF, I'm sure, or any truck really. If you've got a license older than, well, I'm in my 40s basically, and yeah, I got grandfather rights, so I can drive 7.5 ton. And I think if you've got your license before a certain date, I can't remember, I'll put it in the thingy below. You can drive 7.5 ton, and you don't need to have any HGV license, so you can drive 7.5 ton with the car license basically. And you might think, oh, that's fantastic, I'll go and get my DAF downplated to 7.5 ton. Happy days, I can drive with my car license. Oh, by the way, I've just got a massive spot on my forehead there. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm not sure if I can post-process and edit that out. Anyway, you have to put with a spot. Anyway, so yeah, I was looking at my truck and thinking, what do I do? Do I downplate my truck, or do I just go and get the license? Bear in mind that I don't know what the cost is for downplating it, but I know the cost to get my license, so I'm probably giving the game away what I did. It cost me £2,500, best part of £2,500 to get my license, my HGV license. So what they call Class 1. Now you can do a Class 2 license if you want to drive a DAF. It's obviously standard. Is it 11.8 ton or something? 10.8, something like that. 10.8, best part of 11 ton. And so obviously over 7.5 ton. So you know, if you don't do anything with the DAF in terms of changing its rating, then you need a rigid body license, which is Class 2, or a Category C license. Now I went for the C plus E, which is basically the articulated version of that. So I can basically tow trailer. So if you just have your rigid body license, which is your HGV Class 2 license, you can only tow, I think it's 750 kilos, so a small trailer behind your truck. And that was no use to me, because I actually want to beg your pardon, I actually want to tow trailer with my car on, one of my minis or whatever it might be. So I needed to get, even though it's not an Arctic, I need to get my articulated license, my C plus E license. So anyway, it's about £2,500. I'm now June 2023, so depending on when you watch this video, prices may be higher. But yeah, luckily I passed that. I've just passed it last week, Friday last week, just passed the test. So £2,500. In my case, that included, all the lessons and all the test fees. Now, obviously, if you fail, it's going to cost you a bit more, because not only do you have a retest fee, but you also have the fee to hire the truck again for like 4 hours or something like that. So it starts to get even more expensive if you fail, and obviously it's very easy to fail. There's so many places that you can fail that test, and I have no idea how I passed my test first time, but there we go. So yeah, it's quite an expensive option. It's probably cheaper to get your truck downplated to 7.5 ton, but it's not just a question of cost, it's a question of benefit. And to me, the benefit of getting the license is clear. I can drive the truck as it is, I don't have to downplate it. I can carry more weight in the truck. You can tow more weight with the truck as well. So I can tow a trailer with a car in the back, and I can take it up to its maximum gross vehicle weight, which is, I think, like I said, it's just shy of about 11 ton, I think. The downside, obviously, if your license is a 7.5 ton license and that's your limit, that's all you can drive legally on your old car license with grandfather rights, then, and there's people that do, downplate the trucks perfectly fine. I've not got an issue with that, but I think you get other costs to take into consideration. You're clearly going to have to build your truck using some lighter weight materials. If you're doing like an overland camper conversion, it's going to have to use lighter weight materials. Your truck itself, because it's like something like 5 ton or something, I can't remember exactly, but it's best about 5.5 ton, so empty without any load on it. So you've only got something like a ton and a half. You guys will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but it's around those sorts of numbers. You've not got a lot of actual load capacity. And when you start thinking about what you've actually got to fit in your truck, you know, not only passengers that you're taking, seats can be quite heavy if you've got extra seats in the back as well, like the seat belts, they're heavy. Your big weight you've got in terms of water tanks, if you're carrying a lot of water, a lot of fuel, extra fuel tanks, liquids, you know, that all weighs on quite a lot. And so you end up, I think, I'm guessing you guys tell me what you think, because you might have done this, but if you're trying to stick to building an overland camper and you've only got the 7.5 ton capacity because you downplated your vehicle, I'm guessing you've got to compromise quite a lot or spend more money on lighter weight materials. So anyway, it's up to you. I'm just letting you know what I chose to do. I chose to roll the dice. Rolling the dice meaning passing my test first time and not getting too expensive to get my C+E or my Class 1 articulated license. I was kind of lucky, like I said, I passed it first time. And I do mean I was lucky because I nudged the curb a tiny little bit going at 1 mile an hour, and technically I probably could have failed depending on which examiner. It was like discretion of the examiner, and because it was so slow and it was just a scuff, not riding on the curb, I kind of passed it. So it's so easy to fail. Yeah, so my recommendation really, if you're at all bothered or interested, is to just do, you know, take the license. In my case, I did it in a week. It was a week-long intensive course. I don't like to use the term crash course for any sort of driving lesson, but it was a week-long intensive course. I did it. It was 4 hours per morning. So I started on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 hours every morning. Then the test was on Friday. So about 20 hours of instruction, plus a little bit of instruction just before your test on the way over. So I think it's about 24 hours in total it was. Yeah, so I think the benefit, again, if you're going to do it, I think, obviously in my case, I did it over that 1 week. It meant I basically had to take a week off work to do it. So again, you could see that as an extra cost, although it was holiday in my case. Or actually, I was between jobs, actually. So a great time to do it. But yeah, you got the time off to do it morning, so you got to, I guess, factor that in. Really, there's a cost to having time off work, isn't there? Really, I think it's probably better to do it in a week-long intensive course because you know, obviously the other way of doing it is to do a lesson every week or every month. It takes longer to do, clearly, but I think you're also forgetting the things you learned from a week or 2 weeks ago. So I think doing it every day, I found, was quite good because I still had in my head like yesterday's lesson, as it were, so I was able to reapply the things I'd learned for the next day. So yeah, I think that's probably a good way to do it if you can afford it, to do it in one chunk like that. Obviously the benefit of doing it staggered is you stagger the cost as well, or you can stagger the cost. So different ways of doing it. I just thought I'd give you my perspective on things. Let me know in the comments, I suppose, what you've done, what your plans are, if you've got any suggestions on a better approach to do it, whether you think it's best to do 7.5 ton, stick with a 7.5 ton license, or go for your full license, whatever you know, let me know what you guys think. But that's just my 2 penneth on the matter. It's really going dark now, so I'm going to stop this little tiny update video and say goodbye this evening. So that's it for this evening. Take care. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.